Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Dream Life Loading Podcast, Season 2, Episode 26. I'm your co-host, Skye.
And I'm Susan. How are you today, Sky?
I'm good, Susan. We were just talking. I feel very influenced by you today with the hair and the smoothie and just I woke up early. It was just like a very Susan day. I am having a Solo Skylar week. Nick is actually away at national team camp, which is just so freaking exciting. Yes, we are all so happy for him, so proud of him. So I am taking advantage of having he's off doing something very important for what he needs to do, so I'm gonna take advantage. And I've just really been diving into like it's a week of all the things that I've been putting off because I'm like, oh, I'll do it another time. This is the week for it. So I'm feeling super productive. The weather's been great. So it's just like my mood's lifted from that. So I'm feeling like last week was like the clouds and now we are mentally in the sun. So I'm feeling really positive. How are you?
I'm so good. I had a great weekend. It is day 9 of my 75 soft challenge, and things have been going really well. I had a couple days last week where I was like, probably only one or two, where I was like, I don't want to do these things. And so it felt like last week was really just a matter of getting into the routine. And now I'm just excited. Like I changed my calories on my watch day. Like I doubled it actually, but I was like, I am ready to like really do this the right way. So I'm excited.
Amazing. So you are finding not only is it something that you're sticking with, but you're looking forward to the next day because of the challenge.
Yes, absolutely. And it's opening me up. I think especially being pregnant and like having kind of the way I was working out just changed so drastically. It's grounding me in the sense that like activity and exercise and movement does not have to be what you always do. Like you can change it
Yes.
up. And you can find 45 minutes in your day any day. Like on Sunday, I was getting up to go to the gym and my dad called me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go for a walk?" And for those of you who don't know Dave, Dave does not exercise. Like my dad and mom are both landscapers, so they literally do physical labor all day. I understand why they don't want to go wreck themselves at the gym. Like they're probably pretty sore when they come home from work. And in high school, we went for one run. We ran up the road, my dad and I, and then my dad got plantar fasciitis in his feet and he couldn't walk for months. So like it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. But just the fact that Dave called me and was like, "You want to exercise?" I'm like, "Yes, like let's do it."
Mhm.
So just I'm exercising in different ways. Chris and I are gonna start walking at night. It's gonna be 60 degrees here and sunny most of the week, which if you guys are from season 1, you know that last summer was miserable. It was rainy and cold. It was like June and I'm like in a sweatshirt freezing.
The rain was insane last year. I remember that.
Yeah, so just having the ability to go outside is amazing. We also have our elliptical in the garage. So if it is raining, I can just open the garage door because it's still gonna be 60 degrees. Open the garage door, get my speaker, and just get some extra steps in. So, yeah, I'm definitely inspired, motivated. Obviously, it's still the honeymoon phase. I think the first 2.5, 3 weeks of any challenge, it's like fun and exciting, and then it's gonna, become a little mundane. But I think just continuing to switch it up is keeping me engaged and excited. And I'm already seeing differences, which is funny because I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting no physical change other than getting bigger. And no, like you can see my ribs and my legs are getting toned. So I'm
Love
very
it.
impressed.
I love everything that you said in that, but the thing that really stuck out to me was changing your mindset on what it means to exercise. I think I felt really stuck in this too, and like especially like if you don't have a gym, whatever your situation is, I feel like you can easily make an excuse to be like, oh well, I don't have a gym membership, so I'm just not going to work out, or oh well, I missed my workout class, so I'm just not going to work out. And there can be all these situations, which obviously is valid, and I think we've both discussed on here that like sometimes you do need a rest day, and if you need an excuse, take it. Like we all do it. But walking is exercise. I think that is the number one thing that I really am leaning into, especially right now, with same as you, the weather being great, and you can get a good workout in from just walking. And honestly, like I've noticed like my legs definitely, like I feel sore. I went for quite a long walk today and 2 days ago, and it's like, all right, like clearly this is exercise. Like I'm feeling it, my heart rate's up. Like so yeah, walking is exercise. Even like a 10-minute stretch. Like I know with your challenge it has to be 45 minutes, and I think that's great that you have like these things that you have to stick to for doing the challenge. But if you're not, like, you can squeeze in movement, like Susan said, at any point, at any time. And it just mentally, I think I notice, like, mentally, I feel so much better when I take the time to do whatever it is. If it's movement, if it's water intake, whatever it is, like, if you take the time to do it, even if it is 10 minutes, you feel so much better and then you're completing that task. But yeah, I love, like you mentioned, walking at night. Like last summer, we did our wine walks at like, we would do them at like I don't know, 6:37, and do a little wine walk and things like that. It doesn't have to be wine, it can be whatever you want. But just stuff like that, getting outside with the weather changing is such a blessing.
Absolutely. And like this morning was a perfect example. I got up with my first alarm, so it's 4 a.m. and I was like, I am so comfortable. Like I'm comfortable. And that's not exactly easy to come by at this point. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna stay in bed. And I had no guilt about it. Like, you know me. You know that a year ago, honestly, even 6 months ago, if I missed a workout, my whole day was shot. Like,
Yep.
you gotta be careful when you talk to me if I didn't go to the gym because I'm gonna be an asshole. Like, and
Even not just missing a workout, if you woke up at 4:30 instead of 4, you would literally text me and like, I love you, and I would never actually make fun of you, but it was like Susan texts me at 4:30 and she's actually mad at herself. I'm like, come on, girl. But I love your dedication to it, and I love that side of you, but I love this transformation of like, you know what? I don't have to get up this early if I don't want to. And I love that most days you do. And I think that's incredible motivation. But if you're hating your, like, don't do it if you're going to be I think there's a balance. Like you're saying, like, if you're waking up because you want to, amazing. But if you're waking up that early and you're hating your life, maybe it's time to dig into that.
And so that was this morning. I didn't get up and I was like, I'm not going to let this ruin my day. And I think a big part of it is obviously habits. But if I didn't get up for the gym, I would automatically not put my watch on because I'd be mad that I'm not
Yes.
starting like with a jump start on my like steps, calories, whatever. And now I'm forcing myself to put my watch on. I don't care how much exercise I do or don't do in the day, but I'm going to put the habit of putting it on because once it's on, I'm so much more motivated and conscious of what I'm doing. So I got up and I did a workout. And yet, you know what? I burned more calories in my workout this morning before work than I did if I would have gone to the gym.
There you go.
And it all works out for a reason.
I was gonna say everything is so aligned, everything always works out, and like personally with business, like there's been so many different signs. I feel like that, like if we look at the past 3 months, I feel like we've both been seeing so many signs and just like different things align. Like it, and I think, well, I know we talked about this at the end of last week too, and I know this is rambly, but like if you're feeling like there's no way out of this, or like there's no way to make this happen or whatever, like yes, there is. The fact that you think it and you want it to happen proves that you can. And I posted something on the DLL story 2 days ago when this is
Yes.
live. That was very much like, if, I mean, I'm thinking like, if you can dream it, you can be it, which was like the idea. But this quote was beautiful and it was long. And it just really detailed, like, if you have the brain power to think of what you want, then you can make it happen. Like, then it's already out there. So, big tangent
That's
on
the
that. But
perfect segue into having something you want to do and then making it happen. So today's episode is actually an announcement, which you probably know if you saw the title. But we created and are putting out a new product this week, hopefully Friday, right?
yes.
And it's the 21-day life reset.
Susan,
So
you have to take, like, I have to give you a shout out, and I know group effort on this and everything, but I want to give you a personal shout out here because you did absolutely take the lead on this one, and I am just so amazed by your brain and like the I'm always amazed by your brain, but with this one it was like I truly blown away, and I'm someone that works with you like most hours of every single day. So I think to blow me away when I'm someone that sees what you do so often, like you can tell that it's a good product. And I'm just so freaking proud and excited and all the things, all the gratitude to you because this is really special.
This product is honestly, I feel like such a milestone for both the DLL and myself personally. So I'm going to give you guys the backstory on how this came up. So we were on vacation, what, 3 weeks ago now, almost a month ago.
Mhm.
Uh, and Chris left for the day. So I had a solo day and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to a coffee shop that I haven't been to in over a year. I love sitting in a coffee shop and just like creating. So I went and I had a fresh notebook, which how cute is she? I'm gonna give her
Ooh.
some credit. Love this notebook. It's got really good line spacing. It's beautiful. So I was like, okay, I like what do I need for myself right now? I feel like I've been running in a million different directions. Like, how can I like reset, rebalance? So I just started writing like different things that I would want to do when I got home. And I was like, wait a minute, this was building itself into a program. So I made different categories of like my categories of life, almost like the life audit that we do, but it very quickly evolved and morphed into something different, which then became this. So long story short, she was born in a coffee shop. The 21 days themselves were outlined, and I had the idea that I was like, okay, I want there to be at least a journal prompt consistently, the task of the day, like any of our other challenges are, and then maybe do something different, like with quotes or some like big images. So that happened on a Thursday. You and I met the following day. Or no. Yeah, we did meet the following day. And I was like, I have this idea, like hear me out. And Skye was like, yeah, I love it. Like I want to see this blind, like just make it and then I'll see what it looks like and then we can like make revisions from there. And I was like, okay. It'll be like a week maybe.
I think
No, it took less.
I think a full week for it to actually become something. Yes,
Yeah.
I think like start to finish ish. But I mean, it's yes, sure, start to finish. You started with a blank Canva page and then a week later it was 151 pages long. Yes. But like this piece of art literally is such a combination of things that have been happening over the past almost 2 years with DLL. Like, I think when I went in blind, not to cut you off from this, but like when I went in blind and started reading through this program, I was like, oh my God, we talked about that on the podcast. And oh my God, we talked about this. So, like, these are all things that we've been saying at DLL for honestly the past year that we never physically put into something. I think it's the perfect combination of the podcast, the life audit, our planner. Like it just kind of sums up DLL as a whole into something now for the first time that you can hold physically.
Yes, our daily quotes, our journal prompts, like it's literally each part of this book is something that we have done or touched on. None of this is new. Is
No.
it well, I mean it is all new, but together new. But
And I
it's
think
in it.
21 days is, we've talked so many times on here, you can form a habit in 21 days. So like the fact, even just the fact that it is 21, a 21-day program is so DLL brand that it's like, you know, when you walk into this thing that you know what you're getting. This is everything we've been saying. Now do it. You know, like it's the way to make the dream life happen.
Yep. So what do you get when you get this? So it's 21 days. There in the front, you get like a full breakdown of why we chose 21 days, what to expect every single day, and the old way of how you were trying to like change your life versus the new way and how we're going to get you there. So every day you get a quote, which are so pretty. They all have different, like beautiful images. They have the day and then the quote itself. Then you get this mindful, like morning sheet that you can fill out.
Like
Then,
a mindfulness tracker almost.
yeah, like a check in,
Yeah,
and
check
it's
in.
very like, and then you end with like deep breathing and like just
Yep.
grounding yourself.
I
Then
like
you have,
the mindfulness page. There's only very few things in this book that are the same. There are so many pieces of this that are very different day to day, but I like that the things that stay consistent are the fact that there is a quote. There are 21 unique quotes, but the fact that there is a quote, I love that the mindful worksheet stays consistent for all 21 days, because I think being able to go back and look like, okay, it's the third day of week 2. How do I feel versus how I felt on day 1 of week 1? Being able to compare the exact same sheet back to back like that shows so much growth right there.
Yes. And you get in the habit of checking in with yourself every morning, which was the whole point.
Exactly.
Um, then our journal page with the cute little sun in the background. So
Those are, yeah.
every journal prompt is different, like each day. And then in the back, you get the full 21 journal prompts if that's just how you prefer to journal. Then you get your task of the day, which it explains what you're doing. A lot of times there's examples. Some of them there's like space to do them. We tried really hard to have like a lot of like different shapes, but the same like neutral colored feel. Like it's all different. You're not going to be bored. Every day is different.
Yep.
And then you end each day with a reflection. So the reflections are all the same, and you have like your gratitude, what you struggled with, notes, and the word that best described your day.
I think there are so many things I love about this, and I know we touched on the beginning about like why it is so special to us, but my favorite part is as I was going through it, like I said, I went, or like Susan said, I went through it blind, so I had no idea what to expect. And it was, I think it was day 15. So it was just over the second week. It was just into the second week. I'm going through it. And I was like, oh my God, everything connects. Your teacher brain came out so much in this product, because it's not like there are 21 tasks. This is an overarching program. Each day, each task for each day coincides with the day before and with the next day. Each thing is going to build you up so that after 21 days, you actually feel different. It's not just we threw out 21 tasks for you. Like each one of these was put there for a reason, was put in the specific week for a reason. Like it was all so well thought out, and it like you proved this program. Like this is what you did to get out of your I don't know what word we used, funk, slump, whatever word we want to use for it. But like you literally used this and you were like, wait a minute, I can turn this into something because it works. It works.
Yeah. And so we broke it into, it's 21 days. So we broke it into 3 weeks, and then each week has like a theme. So the
Yep.
first week is reflection and goals. The second week is distractions and decluttering. And then the last week is the work. So I don't want to give too much more than that
Yeah.
away, but it is like Skye said, it's intentional. It was built the way it's structured is on purpose. And we
Yes.
also took like our harshest feedback from the last challenge we did in products that we've put out before, and we really tried to listen and make it as interactive as possible, but also consistent and manageable. Like you can be like I had said to you, I was like, this is something I could do postpartum. This is something that,
Absolutely.
like I would be able to manage, doing my one task a day and doing with, a newborn.
Yep.
So
And I
we tried
think I'm trying to think about, I can't think of all 21 tasks off the top of my head, but I think if you can dedicate a half hour each day total to the program, I think that's enough time, because that gets you your 2 minutes in the morning for the mindfulness, you're probably 20 minutes on the task itself, and then another 8 minutes for the journal prompt and the end of day reflection. I genuinely think you can get it done in 30 minutes. If you want to spend 2 hours, you can. Like you can, and I think it depends day to day. I really love how you set it up where the first week is a lot of like, okay, let's figure out where you are and where you want to be, very life audit coded. And then that's a lot of writing, that's a lot of like deep diving. And then week 2, you barely touch the paper, honestly. Like there is so much, like you talk so much, we both talk so much about like make your physical space a happy place to be, so it makes your inside space a happy space to be. And week 2 is really like, let's declutter the outside so that we can declutter the inside. So I think that keeps you moving, it keeps you engaged. It's not like you're gonna be writing for 3 weeks straight. It's really designed to keep you going.
in the places that you are writing, I don't think there was a single place that we just left blank. You're never
Yep.
going to have like here's your task, here's a blank page.
Mhm.
Like that's not how it's going to be. Like it's going to either give you instructions or examples or a literal like question. Like here's the question. What does this mean to you?
Yep.
Um, and we are just trying to break it down as simple as possible so that if you are new to self-improvement, this is a friendly book for you. But also if you're seasoned in self-improvement and this is something you love to do, this book will still challenge you. You can just take it the step further, you know?
Absolutely. I love it's very much a hand-holding program, like down to like, and even the way we styled it with the tone of voice in the writing is like we are doing this with you. Like we're talking to you in the first person, we're talking about ourselves. Like it's very casual in a sense where we want it to feel like we are your friends and we're going to guide you through this. So like every single day has like literally almost a full page, it feels like, of information so that you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and there's nothing left up to like, oh well, I'm not really quite sure what this means, but I guess I'll just figure it out. Like no, that might have happened in past challenges, but this one is so detailed and there is no room for confusion.
Yeah. We that was a huge like focus point for us. We wanted it to be usable and for there not to be a lot of confusion.
Absolutely. And I think it's obviously so incredibly exciting that this is the first product we're launching that's physical, that you can physically hold
Yes.
something.
So you can get it if you are an iPad girly, because we still love our iPads. Then you can get it on Etsy. But if you want the physical workbook, which looks like this, it will not have a line through it. This is just the proof copy. These are available on Amazon, which is very exciting because if you have Prime, you're going to get free shipping.
We are both very specific, and I know we've talked about this on, I'm more on season one, I guess, but we're both very specific about books and the feel and the pages and all those different things. And we went through like very detailed, like both sitting on Zoom, sitting in meetings, being like, okay, we needed to feel exactly the certain way. We had Susan with the proof, and it's like, okay, I think it's gonna be this big, and we need to make sure. And I was like, but is it gonna, like, am I gonna be able to write on it? Because if it's like, if you and I wouldn't pick it up
Use
in a bookstore, then like that was the criteria. It was like this has to be the absolute best, and it has to be like the paper has to feel good because we want you to want to write in it.
the debacle of whether the cover should have been matte or glossy, like that meeting alone, guys, like I want you to understand, like we walked through this, and I think that that's another part of like our business that I don't think a lot of people see or understand necessarily is like what you're seeing right now. If you're watching the video of the podcast, this is how we run our business. Like Skye and I will get on FaceTime, get on Zoom, and we have hour-long conversations on, are we going to have the pages bleed, or what pound paper are we going to put in this? Are we doing color? Are we doing black and white? What is it going to feel like? Like that is a huge part of it, but it's not something that we can sit down in the same space and do together. But honestly, I feel like this process was so much fun, and we had momentum. We were excited about it. And I think that's another point that we were going to be just completely transparent about. The Amazon copy is $33.33. And that's because Amazon makes you pay, like you have to set it at a certain price per
Yep.
their thing, their guidelines. And we wanted the best paper for you guys. So it was, if we didn't do the best premium paper, then it was going to bleed through and you were going to be able to see yesterday's stuff. Like it was going to be, I wouldn't have wanted it.
No.
That is where the pricing comes on this one. And then obviously, if you're getting the digital version, you can use it on your iPad, you can reuse it, and that one's cheaper.
And I love both options, and I know we definitely have products where I would not even want to have a physical option. I think they make sense on iPad, but this is really the first one where it's like I love that we're still giving the iPad option because some people are just like maybe like financially they want that option or they don't like paper, whatever your reason is. I love that we have the option, but like my opinion, and like I know I'm biased, but like this is something you want physical. I want like because you're gonna be carrying it around for 21 days straight, and it's like this, it just becomes a part of you. You have everything right there. You can journal in the book. There's sections to journal. Your task is right there. Like you can literally do everything in this book. And then I'm somebody, I keep all my old journals, all my old planners, like I keep all that physical stuff. So I think after 21 days, you're going to have this beautiful worn book of so much work and growth and like everything. So I think being able to keep that and look back on it is really cool too.
And this is something you can do with your friends. Like this
Right.
is when we made this, once the proof came in, I think one of the first things I said was, I can see this being in like a gift basket to one of my friends, you know? And it would be so fun to go through it with, like, I'm doing the 75 challenge with a friend right now. And
Yep.
it's like, this is something that you can grab, just grab your friends and like all get your books and do it together.
Absolutely. And I think I'm looking back on or thinking back on the 100-day challenge, and our most successful people from the 100-day challenge were the people that did it with a buddy. And I know like this one's a little bit different. Our 100-day challenge, we started all at the same time and we did it together. And like we had a private Facebook page, we were posting every day, we were very active as a community, which I think helped people stay consistent. Obviously, this one you can pick what day makes sense for you to start your challenge, but that's not to say that we won't also be here. Like you know, we are so active on TikTok, on Instagram. So if and when you start this challenge, let us know. Like I would love to see your progress from week to week. Give us feedback too. Like obviously this is not our first product, but it is our first product of this like new chapter for us, and I know it's not the last one. So I know we're going to grow from this. I know we're going to like experience so much with the launch of this, and I just literally could not be more excited for this product. I can't wait to get my hands on one. Like that's the hardest part right now is waiting for it to launch.
I know. I've been checking my email like very consistently because I'm like, where's
Yes.
the message? Because if you're publishing through Amazon, it takes up to 72 hours for it to publish. And we had a couple margin errors um initially, and I just checked. It's not ready yet. But she'll be out. She'll be out and
But
it'll be
you know what? It's Prime. So the second we can go and order, 2 days and it's here or less.
yes, exactly.
I can't wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait for you guys listening to get your hands on it. I feel like if you're listening, you're most likely somebody that's like into challenges and self improvement and all of that. And this is, I think, you said it earlier that it's a great piece for everybody. I think if you're new to self improvement, this is such a great way to get started because we are holding your hand from day 1 through day 21. And if you did the 100-day challenge and you're like, oh, I kind of missed that, I would like something, this is a great one to do. And I think it's almost like spring cleaning for your brain. So I feel like the timing of this was so great that we can do this challenge together and then jump into the 100-day challenge this summer, which I guess we can kind of privately officially announce that we're doing it again. Or buy it and start it in a month or buy it in 2 months. You know, like that is the beauty of this, is that it can be done whenever. You can do it again. You can keep the book, write in it this time, and then go back and do it again and write somewhere else if you end up buying it physical. And like, I think, yes, it's going to reset you. That is the point of the 21-day reset, but it's not going to permanently change you. So I think it is something that maybe could be done once a year, once every
Yeah,
6 months, like depending on your lifestyle, but so many opportunity with it. And we're just so excited about it.
absolutely. I can't. Oh, I love it so much. And I'm so excited for you guys to be able to see it and hold it and do it.
Yes. Did we say like I wanted to say the tagline for it, which was designed to help you discover your purpose, set meaningful goals, and cultivate habits. I think you said that at the beginning, but I
Oh,
love that
I don't
line.
think I did.
Something. I thought you
Yeah,
said something like it that just really described like what it is, but I like that tagline. I feel like it's like an easy one sentence way, like this is what you're getting.
and if you watched our episode last week, you now know what Sky's favorite was. um, so do we want to do favorites for this week?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm going to start with my quote this week. And mine is, you can start late, look different, be uncertain, and still succeed.
I like that. What is that from? Do you know?
Just,
I like it. I
I don't,
feel like no, I feel like I've heard it before, like in a movie or I don't know, something. But
yeah.
yeah. So my quote, I'll start with my quote too. It was actually like something I wrote in my journal, and then I wrote something shorter in my notes, but I kind of just wanted to read like the little thing I wrote in my journal. It said, I'm going to do this. I have no idea how it will turn out or even how to make it happen, but I know it will work out for me. And I feel like I think I literally said this to you, and that's probably why I ended up just writing it down. But like, I think that's kind of been my mantra for the past 2 years in just so many different situations is like, I have no idea how this is going to happen, but kind of to full circle what we said at the beginning, the fact that I can dream it up in my head means that we can make it happen. And so the little quote that and it always ends up working out. That is like really the point, is that even if it takes time and it seems impossible, like it really does always end up working out. And so the little quote I wrote down was for the hope of it all, which I know has been my favorite before, but that will always probably be like one of my favorite quotes because it really is like the whole thing is just for the hope of it all.
Yeah. I love that. One of my seniors, when I was teaching, that was her graduation cap. Said
Oh,
it was very sweet. So
that's
shout out.
special.
She actually might be listening to this. I know she follows DLL. So,
That's special.
my favorite this week is actually not like a thing. It's just my life. This morning I was sitting on the couch with Chris and I was just like, I love you. And he was like, where did that come from? Like, did you spend money? Like, what did you do? The look of concern, like the straight fear on this man's
Do
face. And I
you
was like,
need money?
I was like, no, like I just genuinely like I love our life. Like I feel like everything I do is like a vlog. And I've had a lot of memories pop up in like Snapchat lately of like 2021 and I'm like, oh, I'm so cringe. However, that girl was just trying to get her life to like look like a vlog and feel like a vlog. And now it does. Like literally before this meeting, I saw you had texted me to start early and my watch was on. So I got your text messages in my watch and I was like, oh, sweet. Like we can start early. So I filled up my little cup with my raspberry tea and I was like, wow. Like this moment is just like my kitchen is clean. I just ate a panini. I worked out this morning. Like I just love my life and I'm so thankful. And I'm thankful for this community because honestly, like the Dream Life Loading mindset, you guys, us being able to just create in any capacity, whether it's a TikTok or a product like this, like I just so fulfilled and grateful. So my life, my favorite.
Susan, I really love that. I'm not even gonna try and like say like I just really love that. I think that's really special. I love that. Um, Before I go into mine, I wanted to echo something that you said and just give that gratitude to the community because this product that we're create or have created is something that we've always wanted to do from the beginning of DLL. We always said, oh, well, when we can, we'll do physical planners and we'll do physical challenges, but when we can, and we would not have been able to financially and like confidently and all of the different ways that we were able to do this would not have been possible if it weren't for the support we've been getting since the start of DLL. And that's really just the reality. So just to echo what you said, it's just this, like, it sounds so cheesy, but it like, no, it's just actually the reality that this would not have been possible. So we are just so happy and so grateful.
Yes, truly from the bottom of our hearts.
Absolutely. I had a reaction when you started talking about your favorite and you were like, "Oh, it's not physical." And I was like, "Neither's mine." I don't know how we do this. Like, I genuinely don't know how our brains can be so connected when if you have like long distance friends or like are considering doing long distance or whatever it may be, like here's proof that like it actually doesn't matter how far you are. If you choose to stay in contact, like it can literally feel like you're sitting right next to each other. But mine was kind of along the same lines of like just really feeling fulfilled and feeling like excited about the things that I know I can do when you like have the drive to do it. But what I wanted to focus on for my favorite was taking the extra 5 minutes just in everything. Like taking the extra 5 minutes in the morning, taking the extra 5 minutes that you could sleep in and maybe use it to like get outside in the sunshine. Just like taking the extra 5 minutes, whatever that means to you. And I've been doing that the past couple weeks with just the nicer weather, having the extra time, not with having playoffs and everything. So yeah, the extra 5 minutes to make life feel like a vlog. So it's so similar to yours in a lot of ways.
We're so aligned. Oh,
It's laughable. Like when you said it, I was like, no freaking way. Like I was like, why didn't one of us talk about a lipstick? Like it's just so funny.
I mean, I do have this really cute claw clip that I've been loving, but
That is really cute. I know. I was trying to think like What did I like? And you know what? I guess I'll share it anyways because it's kind of funny and you'll laugh about it. I have recently learned that peas are a really great source of protein.
You with your beans and your peas.
I know, and I literally said, I almost said it to you, and I was like, I need to tell her this, and I need to see her face. But this is the text I sent. I go to Nick. I go, I am so pleased with peas. Because I was just genuinely so happy. I was like, oh my God, I had no idea that peas, great source of fiber, great source of protein. Like, I am so pleased with peas. So I guess it can also be my favorite.
Honestly, hilarious too, because mom, if you're listening, my mom's dog or parents' dog, Timber, we got him a pea pod toy and it has three little peas and it squeaks. And this dog is obsessed with his pea pods. He like does not play rough with them. He like gently holds them in his mouth. He brings them to bed. Like the dog is obsessed with his peas. So whenever we're there, we're like, oh, where are his peas? And like peas have been a very large topic of conversation in our house for the last like month or so since he got his peas. So that's just very funny.
Timber is also pleased with his peas.
Is very pleased with his peas.
Okay, that has to be the end. We have to be done.
All right, guys. If you are listening, depending on what platform you're listening on, please leave a review, like, subscribe, and we will see you next week.
And make sure to go on Friday and check out the 21-day challenge, 21-day reset workbook on Etsy and on Amazon.
And we'll link them on our Instagram stories.
Thank you guys for listening.